Thank you, Zane. Next up from Intel as well, I'd like to introduce Chris Tobias, Director of Marketing, Channel Platform Strategy Division.
Hi, thanks for all of you coming today. So many of you know this is Computex 30th anniversary, so 30 years of great innovation in China, in Taiwan. And what we want to look at is the next 30 years are going to be much more exciting than the past 30. So one of the things we're looking at doing on desktop, as Zane talked about earlier, is we are focusing on innovation by the market segments. So in order to drive future growth, if you look back 5 years, it was all about scale, and that's what Computex helped bring about. If you looked at it, it helped bring standardization to the desktop market. So the first platform many people could get into the PC market would be on the desktop. We call that the beige box. One thing, as Zane talked about, is we're focusing really intensely on the enthusiast segment. We've been able to drive significant growth in the segment year over year and expand it through innovation at Intel and also through innovation of companies like Gigabyte, who've been very aggressive in this space, developing excellent new technology for customers to participate in. And so we've had great success there. Gigabyte's also helping us in the lifestyle space. They have a new H55 mini ITX motherboard, and many of our channel customers worldwide. Last year in the fall, I hit 20 different customers in what we would term emerging markets, and all of them had a mini ITX design. So many exciting chassis around that, and Gigabyte's excellent innovative product with our processors is going to be enabling customers to experience exciting form factors and great new technologies in that space. The other areas are entry desktop and business that's focusing on as well for differentiation. Let's get to the exciting stuff. The exciting stuff that Zane talked about is the K SKU. This is great innovation for the market. I looked at sales out this morning. Historically, when we launch a high-end product, where do you think it sells? You know, the usual suspects: North America, Japan, Korea, Taiwan, of course. Hours guaranteed sales. What we're seeing this time with the K SKU, and then this is what's different, is we are bringing this capability to new markets. Is we are selling in day one, Brazil, Turkey, Romania, Thailand, several new markets. Day one of this processor launch are there buying these high-end components. So this market is growing. If you think about how it started, think back around the early 90s when Doom was released. University students got bandwidth for the first time and would start competing in online games. Well, guess what? In the years since then, the world has gotten much richer. University students around the world have more disposable income, and they're very interested in this market. And as Brett McCrae on my team likes to remind me, he lives in Sao Paulo. There's more Bentley dealerships in Sao Paulo than there are in New York. So this market is big and it's growing, and it's exciting for all of us. And Intel definitely wants to be a part of it and drive innovation for this segment. And I'm really happy to see how aggressive Gigabyte is pursuing this marketplace, providing platforms with Intel processors to drop into so customers can take advantage of the capabilities in this marketplace. What we're seeing, a lot of our customers are telling us, and a lot of the people who've used the processor, is they're able to get a great overclocking experience with standard voltage, so they don't have to overvoltage the processor as much, and they're able to get a great overclocking experience on air. That means you don't have to be quite as sophisticated as you used to be to participate in this space. And to get the unlocked experience, you had to be fairly wealthy to go purchase your Gulftown processor. We want to open up this market to more people, and we want to grow it, and we want to make sure all parts of the world get to experience this and tinker with the new platforms to get the absolute best experience. So one last thing I'd like to say is we got some great processors. Gigabyte's got some great boards. We hope all of you here are very excited about these. Hopefully many of you get a chance to go try these out. If you haven't, I'm sure there's a store down the street where you can go purchase one and pick one up and try it out for yourself. Thank you very much.
feel that we are number one in the P55 market. So you can imagine how pleased we were when Intel told us that they would be launching new CPUs for overclocking in this segment. Right, there's a website called hwbot.org, and this is a forum and a website where people upload their overclocking scores. So these results were taken yesterday for the Core i5 655K CPU. The number one motherboards that are being used to overclock this, or to upload scores on this website at the moment are, the top three are Gigabyte motherboards. For the i7 875K, also a Gigabyte motherboard. I just want to highlight that the top scores, this is taken yesterday as well, is with the 655K is 6650 megahertz. That's with a P55A UD7 motherboard. And with the 875K, it's 5201 megahertz, also with the same motherboard. Now, if we look at more stats from HWBot, these are taken from May. And if we look at the amount of submissions, so these are scores that have been submitted throughout the lifetime of the P55 chipset. 34% of the submissions are from Gigabyte. Our closest competitor has 25. You can see that the motherboard makers are at the bottom. It's Gigabyte, there's an A, an M, and an E. Gigabyte's definitely leading in the P55 motherboard submission space. For H55, we're 84%, so it's a big lead over there. This is taken in May from HWBot. Now, it's not only the overclockers who enjoy our motherboards, the media also likes them. There's a quote up there from Tom's Hardware that talks about get the performance of a Core i5 from a Core i3. Overclockers.net say if you're looking for an overclocking motherboard for the LGA 1156 platform, then the Gigabyte P55A UD7 is definitely a board that should be on your shortlist. There are more quotes, but the main reason why overclockers and media enjoy our motherboards are because we overspec a lot of the components on the motherboards. We take server spec and put them onto a desktop space. We do this because overclockers are going to push the motherboards to the extreme. So we never know how far people are going to push our boards, so we overspec them, in other words. Now, we started with solid capacitors. Henry was mentioning that earlier, and that range of motherboards was called ultra durable. Then we had ultra durable 2, ultra durable 3, and now we're announcing unlocked power, which is the next iteration of better quality components on our motherboards. So here's the big announcement for today. With our UD9 motherboard, we can push 1500 watts through the CPU. 1500. 24 power phases. Can anyone tell me what the TDP is for a 980X CPU? 130 watts. So when you overclock, the amount of power you use is increasing quite a lot. So this is why we overspec these motherboards. Now, we have a demo to prove this, but we would need all this equipment, all this expensive equipment, and it was a bit too big and bulky to bring here today. So we've made a video, and it's hosted by Roxon, the guy in charge of our product marketing. So.
Hi, I'm Roxon from Gigabyte. So today I'm in Gigabyte Labs. So I'm going to introduce our latest technology called the Unlocked Power. What Unlocked Power is doing is that we are providing the maximum power from the CPU, especially for extreme overclocking. And what you are seeing right now here is the full system setups. I have two power supplies each, measuring at more than 1000 watts, and a full system of Gigabyte X58 UD9. And here is a system that simulates what the power wattage being drawn from the CPU. And we have, what you know is that